Aloha and welcome to this module on application design, focusing on the model view controller paradigm, and also to some extent on dynamic web applications and forms. So they're very inextricably tied because we want to see how in the MVC paradigm things actually get updated depending upon interactions with the user. So we have to have some kind of interaction, and in this module we're going to use forms. So at times I'll talk about dynamic web applications in some of the screencasts, and I used to call this the dynamic web application screencast, but I think the MVC is really the more essential kind of software engineering design pattern that I want you to focus on here. You can see that our list of learning outcomes is really getting quite lengthy. This is indicating that things are starting to come together in the course, and you're starting to have to tie together everything that you've learned so far. So that will be quite challenging if you don't have a good basis. If you have a good basis, you'll find that you know you're actually getting quite sophisticated in your ability to do a lot of things with high quality quickly. That's the goal anyway. I also want to say that this module is a tough one. There is a lot of stuff that you've got to start getting comfortable with, and it's going to take you quite a lot of time. So I want to, as strongly as possible, urge you to not delay and get started on this module right away. You may need to spend a couple hours a day every day this week to really get comfortable with this material so you can do well on the WOD. Not every module is this difficult, but there are a few where you just have to do a lot of stuff. Okay, so there's a lot of readings for this module, but I want you to note that in several of the cases, so these first ones, you can just go through right away, but then it says watch before practice WOD E42, watch before E43, watch before E45. So some of these you don't need to. You could watch them, and it might be useful just to watch the whole shooting match in the beginning, but then you don't actually need the information until you get to the relevant practice WOD. Okay. I did discover some problems with IntelliJ and the interaction with Play during this that I've been able to kind of resolve. If you run into it, you can check this out. There is this book out there that you may want to look at. You may not need it, or you may get it and not find it that useful. It's hard to say, but I did want to provide you with an optional reading material. However, you will probably need to be looking at the reference documentation. Okay, then we have a bunch of practice WODs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 practice WODs, and they really build on each other, and they take some time, but they incrementally step you through the phases of building interaction using the MVC paradigm in Play to the point that you basically got a regular create, read, update, delete application running, and you understand how that all works. So I think that it's a nice set of exercises for you in terms of kind of understanding how things are going. But as I say, you will want to get started right away on this. Let's go to the schedule page. You see how I've done it. I said E41, E42, E43, E44, then E45, and then E46. So talk about workout of the day. There's a workout every day for this module. No rest for you this time. I would recommend, if you can get E45 even done before the Monday in-class group exercise, that will be much to your benefit. Okay, so a lot of material, but I think at the end of this you're going to start to feel much more comfortable with Play. You're going to hopefully, at least some of you will start to say, wow, this is a really powerful framework, and I can do a lot in very few lines of code with this, which is of course always the goal. Now, figuring out what those very few lines of code are, that's a whole other story, but I believe that you all can get there. So work hard, enjoy this. I think several of these WODs you're going to have to do at least twice. Maybe all these WODs you're going to want to do twice, so you got to really allocate yourselves quite a lot of time for this module, but the results, the payback will be well worth it.